everyone, great to have your company here on Calcine TV. I'm Rachel and you're watching The Buzzing Trends. Today we're looking at the Australian job market. Now, during the initial wave of COVID-19, job openings plunged considerably, prompting a dramatic loss in labour market activity. Fast forward to the end of 2021 and a lot has changed, with job openings showing an extravagant recovery. Through the growth momentum may change in 2022, market experts remain hopeful about the existing labour market conditions. Data from the Australian New Zealand Banking Group reveals that job ads recorded an increase of 7.4% in November on a month-on-month basis. The easing of COVID-19 lockdown measures saw demand for a labour spike in Melbourne and Sydney, and inducing a rise in job ads. Now, interestingly, job advertisements also demonstrated decent growth in October, rising by 6.2%. Rising job listings are a gauge of the profitability of businesses, and as companies see growing revenues, they expand their operations and hire a greater number of workers on board. An increasing job availability should ideally be succeeded by an improvement in the employment rate. For Australia, this could mean a sharp turnaround in the unemployment rate, continuing the observed downward trend. Unemployment declined to 4.6% in November this year, according to the Australian Bureau of Statistics. The latest figures from ANZ suggest that Australian job ads increased in November in line with economic recovery. While some increase in job openings was an expected outcome of lockdowns being lifted, a massive rise of 44% in job listings over pre-pandemic levels came as a pleasant surprise. Experts have embraced the latest job ads report as an indicator of an ongoing revival in the labour market. And it will be interesting to see how soon the unemployment rate responds to improving labour market conditions. However, the recent outbreak of the Omicron variant could not be neglected, which could derail the country's economic recovery from the pandemic. Now, before we look at what's to expect in 2022, let's take a small break. I'll be back soon.
Tune in to get the latest information.
Whether it's about market movements or the currency graph,
Sectoral coverage or industry news.
we cover it all on our news segments.
Be on top of the latest news
With Calcine TV.
And welcome back, Rachel here with the Buzzing Trends. We're looking at the Australian job market and its ability to recover in 2022. Now, a recent report from ANZ suggests that job ads rose by 16.9% in New South Wales, 15.2% in Victoria and 12.5% in the Australian Capital Territory in November. With some states already demonstrating strong recovery, it's expected there will be improved employment across Melbourne and Sydney in the coming months. The latest findings suggest that Australian workers might gain higher leveraging power in the labour market. And as competition among industries rises, employers might be willing to offer higher compensation for workers, increasing the overall wages in the economy. Additionally, workers might also get a chance to choose from a set of alternatives instead of settling for a position where they're overqualified. And according to the National Australia Bank, job ads soared by 7% in the hospitality and tourism sector alone throughout the month to November 2021. Although the tourism sector has borne the heavy brunt of the pandemic, improvement in job ads has given a sigh of relief. With the opening of international borders, further job ads could be expected in the travel sector. But the situation is not the same for all sectors. On closer inspection, the reason for this disparity in job positions and the availability of workers became more apparent. A high number of people quit their jobs in the previous year due to mobility restrictions. Consequently, the lack of adequate or skilled workers can be felt across various industries, leading to such a disparity. Speculations are rife that the unemployment rate could fall below 5% in the short run and 4.5% by June 2022. If market forces remain favourable, the unemployment rate could further decline in 2023. This is especially significant for an economy like Australia, where the central bank is using ultra-low interest rates to drive down the jobless rate to 4%. Well, that's all for now, but we'll be back soon with our Buzzing Trends show to share the latest market insights with you. Till then, stay tuned to Kalkine TV for more stock, business and economy-related trends. I'm Rachel, signing off for now.